Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised us is faithful. Hebrews chapter 10 verses 23. Hello beautiful family, warmest welcome back again to the Lovystouch channel. Thank you so very much family for coming back. Today we have this super delicious and tasty chop bar style okra soup with some soft banku to go with it. So good. So please don't go anywhere. Let's get started. Let's take a quick tour of the ingredients. Here we have our fresh okra and I have some onions, garden eggs, peppers, and just two tomatoes. Okay, and for my protein I'll be using some goat meat and some intestine, also known as roundabouts here. And I will be also having some pre-boiled cow skin or wele or pommo. Okay, and I'll be incorporating some seafood as well. I have some crabs and some mackerel. Mixing everything up, I have here some natural seasoning, some thyme, aniseed, ginger, garlic, and I have my momone. You have some all-purpose seasoning, fish seasoning, and some beef seasoning. Use any type of seasoning that you prefer. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to go ahead and steam my fish or the seafood, which is the mackerel and the crabs. Okay, you can choose to add more, okay, if your pocket allows you to do so. So I'll add my fish seasoning to it and chop some few onions and add a little bit of water. And on a low heat, I'm going to steam this for about 15 minutes. While the fish is steaming, I'll go ahead and do some choppings. I'm going to go ahead and chop all the vegetables that I have here. I'll begin with the onions, tomatoes, and the okra, and then the garden eggs. And with this type of the chunky okra that we want to achieve, you can only use the knife to achieve that. I don't know if there is any form of food processor or chopper that can help you achieve that, okay? This is exactly how you want the okra to be. Very chunky, huge. If you can actually cut them into two pieces, but I choose to cut them into 3 equal parts. I do not want this okra soup to be extremely slimy, so I've shared a recipe that the okra was extremely slimy, and if you've not watched it, I'm going to link it right here. And that we kind of did things differently. We did the opposite, quite the opposite actually. We grated 1/3 of the okra here, but with the other one we grated more of the okra and just chopped 1/3 of it. Okay, so if you don't want your okra soup or stew to be very slimy, you just have to do it this way. And once you're done, you go ahead and clean as you go, okay, just so that the work would not be too much when everything is done. All right, this is the chunky style okra soup. We're going to also go ahead and cut the garden eggs into bigger sizes as well. And it's now time for me to blend all my natural spices and the ginger, garlic, and the onions, and I'll also go ahead and add the peppers and the tomatoes as well. And for the tomatoes, I ended up using just one of it. Okay, so please be sure, because we don't want this to also lose its sliminess in one way or the other. Okay, start with the soup process real quick. We're going to add our proteins. These are very easy to cook. You don't take too much time. All right, so I'm going to put my goat meat and the intestine in and add my seasoning and all my blended seasoning as well, including the peppers, the tomatoes, and everything. It's just very easy. Okay, we're going to steam this for about 25 minutes on a medium heat. All right, making sure that the meat is well cooked to perfection. 15 minutes of steaming the meat, I'll go ahead and add my pre-boiled cow skin or wele, because that also does not take time. I'll just go ahead and steam everything together for extra 10 minutes. And by the way, our fish is perfectly steamed, and it's now time for us to, the going becomes very easy at this point. I'm going to also add my palm oil, but I do not always love to add it directly. I love to infuse it with a bit of onions and momone. You know that momone and palm oil. That two combo right there is just the perfect hit. It really smells so good in here. So once everything has been fused so well, I'll go ahead and pour everything to the base of the soup, making sure everything is well incorporated. Fam, we're about to get started. We're going to just enjoy the soup so well. Just allow it to simmer for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes in between is the perfect time for us to cook our okra. It takes just 5 minutes per. All that you have to do, I prefer to boil my water first and then add the okra, and all that it takes is just 5 minutes. This way you get a little bit of the crunch, and remember, this is the soup version, so the okra should be a little bit on the watery side. Okay, it should not be as thick as I will use to make my okra stew. Okay, go ahead and throw in the garden eggs as well, and just allow it to cook perfectly on a medium heat all the time for 5 minutes. All right, make sure you be stirring just so that everything does not boil over. All right, because it has the tendency of doing that. Okay, so in the meantime, just go ahead and add all your seafood if you chose to use any. All right, so here I had the crabs and the mackerel. All the seafood gets in. You have to be very careful in the way that you're going to stir everything up, because you might end up breaking it. Okay, do not stir vigorously just yet. Just allow everything to simmer through until the okra comes in. Okay, so good. Let's unite this okra with the base of the soup. Come on now. That is always my favorite part. The okra was cooked for about just 5 minutes because you want to also retain some of its crunch. I love it that way. And the garden eggs in there reminds me so much of one close chop bar that we had at Obuasi. It was so good. As everything gets together, you just want to be very gentle with your stirring, because you do not want to break your fish. Okay, it's very important. But the slime of the okra also helps not to get it breaking, so it's very nice. Now, as usual, you know that I'll be adding a little bit of peppers for garnishing, or for anyone who wants extra heat in their mouth. And that is it, family. You just allow it to simmer through for about 5 minutes. As you can see, this is not super slimy, because there was no additional bicarbonate soda added, and still we have a little bit of slime to show off, right? So you can pair with any swallow of choice. We did some banku to go with this, of course. This also goes well with eba. So try it, okay? So good. And once that is done, you go ahead and just plate it. All right, plate it and enjoy. So good. It's such a perfect lunch dinner, especially for the weekend. It's something that you want to have, and after all that you do is just rest on your couch and just Netflix and chill, or YouTube and chill. You don't want to do too much after this, right? It's so good. Thank you all so very much, family, for watching. I do really hope you enjoyed this recipe and you are going to give this a try. It's absolutely delicious. Go ahead and give me a like. It really helps the channel growth. And don't also forget to share with few friends and family, just so that you all end up enjoying together. Of course, now, if this is your first time here, my name is Lovia from Lovystouch. My main goal here is to cheer you up into making your own delicious meal right at the comfort of your home. I also love to share kitchen related motivational videos, so please subscribe for amazing new recipes every week. Thank you so very much, family, for watching once again, and just know that you are so beautiful just the way you are. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you again in my next one.